another edition of blogger issues. I feel like we should have some jingle or something that happens there. Anyway, so today's subject is one that probably I associate most with out of the topics that I've come up with so far, and that is not having a very vlogger friendly home. I mean, not just in terms of the aesthetics of it, but the logistics of it. How hard it is to blog or vlog within the space that I live, you live. When I was just a blogger, the main issue with my house is there is no wall space that is blank. There's no like white wall that I can pose against for outfit photos or to hold up something, perhaps a bit of beauty or anything like that. There's no space that I can alternatively put it on top of something and do those, you know, shots that face down. So that's always been tricky, because obviously I'm sharing a house with my parents, so I can't take over a desk to do those kind of downward shots. I can't just take down all their picture frames and move the sofa and stuff if I want to do outfit shots inside. So that has always been a bit of a nightmare for blogging photos, and because I don't have transport, I can't really go anywhere more picturesque to take pictures elsewhere. So that's why I've never been really happy with many of my outfit posts or blog pictures that have been taken in the house or in my garden. They just seem very amateur and yeah, not as good as they could be. And you know, you see other people when they work with photographers and they get some amazing shots in various locations, in cities, in the countryside, on beaches, amazing, I don't know, venues or whatever, and you do think, oh God, it really looks so much better than my little thing that's got a bit of doorway in it or a picture frame half in that you've tried to edit out but you can't really edit out. As I've been doing vlogging, it's become increasingly obvious how impractical my house is for being a vlogger. When you look at a lot of the big bloggers, quite a lot of them have kind of a similar aesthetic. There's a lot of white walls, and then there'll be maybe some fairy lights, some motivational prints put up in either in frames or on the wall, maybe some cactuses, candles, I don't know, all sorts of different kind of structural light things. And they look beautiful, they look stunning, very well set up, and it just makes just watching any old chatty video or a haul, it just makes it more attractive to the viewer. It looks very polished, very glossy. And I'd look at that and I knew I wouldn't be able to recreate it. One, my room's red and very dingy, and because it's not my house, I can't really redecorate and make it white and the area nice. I don't have any of those nice objects either. And just the layout of the space meant that I couldn't really film in a place that would make my setup attractive. So that's why I've moved to the garage. As you will have heard in various vlogs, that it's not ideal by any means. There's stuff all over the shop, it's freezing cold, and I can only use this space if my dad has the car out the garage, which when it's cold he doesn't always want it out the garage, or he's not here to remove it, etc. So it's not ideal. And I also think, you know, it's a bit stark. I like to pretend that maybe people think it looks kind of like a New York loft apartment with exposed brick, but they might just think actually it's quite bare, it's quite boring, it's not very cozy and inviting, and there's not much going on. It's probably quite bleak as an image. But this is what I'm working with at the moment because I do think it's elevated my videos, and that's the thing. These days, videos by YouTubers, they're so polished. They're as good, if not better, than the videos that big publications are putting out on their websites. They're well edited, they're well lit, the sound quality is good because they're investing in good microphones. Just everything about them is polished, and including the setup. And I think when you look at yours, I think it's sometimes very obvious that yours doesn't look as good. But the thing is, it's funny, whenever I brought this up with like subscribers or people that have seen my videos, they're like, it's more about the person, we watch for you, or it's more about what you're saying and the contents. But actually I think we're more into visuals and aesthetics maybe than we like to admit or even realise, because when I look at my subscribers and how fast the rate of them increasing has gone, I definitely believe that since I've changed to this kind of brick background as opposed to the mess that was my bedroom, that I've had a bit more of an influx of people coming by and commenting and stuff. I presume that's because it just looks a little bit more professional. I'm not saying it's slick or by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a step up from what it used to. I don't know, how do you guys feel about it? Like, do you think that, you know, you're more inclined to click on a video if, you know, it looks, you know, a certain way? Perhaps it's got the really cool background, or, you know, really glossy and really professional, or will it be a case of, well, I guess that's what hooks you into a channel in the first place, isn't it? Like, the thumbnail is key, and, you know, it's a tricky one. My constant thing with it is, I think with blogging and YouTubing, I like the fact that it was kind of a bit homemade, a bit rough around the edges, that you got to see the soul of someone, and if the pictures were a bit sketchy, they had their own charm, it was fine. And I feel like everything's going very quickly to a place that it's so professional that I do worry that it's losing its original charm, but then maybe the new charm, you know, is great in its newness. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think it's so impressive what bloggers are doing these days. Like, some of the sites are so slick. They're like better than a lot of magazine sites, and just as well written, amazing photography and just amazing little details and stuff. But it has changed, I don't know, the landscape of what blogging is. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Do you like that they look just as good as magazines, or does it not really matter to you as long as the content is still good, as long as their personality is still coming through what they write and what they say? I don't know, what's your view? Anyway, back to this. The only thing about, you know, when a backdrop to someone's videos is so obviously composed and choreographed, it does take away slightly from the genuine nature of the chat, because it looks like, okay, I've decided to have a chat with you in this composed area, rather than it being, I've been struck with this inspiration, I'm going to literally put the camera on me and talk to you. But then, if I had an environment and my own YouTube space at like a suitable house, I so would make it a really lovely backdrop. I'd have all the gubbins that you'd want in the back. I'd have all those little objects that kind of scream what my channel is about, but also make it aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, you can't blame people for doing it, and it looks great. So I can pinpoint negatives about it, of course, but at the end of the day, we all want our videos to look nice as possible. There are some anomalies, of course, like Graveyard Girl. You wouldn't want her having a slick background. Hers are all about her personality, her face in the camera, her exaggerated gesturing. You don't care like what room she's filming in, what's in the background. She could do it anywhere, and her personality carries the whole video. So I guess it depends on what sort of YouTuber you are and what sort of content you deliver and what you want to deliver. I must say, from my point of view though, it does get me down, because I feel like my videos would just be elevated a bit more if I had a nice setting to do it in, and not just for the aesthetics. I could get more done, because every time I set this up, it's a big faff, because I have to bring these heavy lights down, come some lights down from somewhere else, put tripod up, get all the extension leads, move whatever is out and about, hope that my parents aren't going to walk in and get something out of the freezer which is in the garage. You know, yeah, it's difficult. And another thing about this house is, as I said, I don't live with bloggers who understand how it all works. I don't have a free house at any point, really. My parents are doing their stuff, and I can't tell them to be quiet. This is their house, so there's always background noise going on in this house. Like the last video, the Liv Tyler one, I filmed the voiceover in 3 or 4 different rooms, and therefore all the voices were different. and therefore trying to match them, getting the same volume, same tone, it was impossible. So that's annoying when you've put so many hours and so much effort into a video and you know you can't make it as good as you want to because logistical things have ruined that for you. So yeah. So are you a YouTuber and blogger, and do you live in a house or flat or whatever that is not conducive to creating the images or the videos that you want? What are your solutions? Like, what do you do about it? What makeshift kind of faux studios have you set up in weird parts of your house or elsewhere? Like, the aesthetics of the video are as important as I believe they seem to be, or do you think I need to stop worrying about it and, you know, you're not fussed as long as, you know, the subject is up your street? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Hopefully one day though I'll have a really nice background for you. But in the meantime, enjoy the bricks. Thanks for watching another episode of Vlogger Issues. I really wanted this to be kind of a collaborative discussion area, so let me know your views on it, how you've overcome this issue in the past if you had it, and how you feel now if you've got a really cool space. Has it made you enjoy making videos more because you've got that really cool space to do it in? I will actually go now. Thanks for watching, and